Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Trainer Talk. Today we're going to be talking about the red flags in the fitness industry, so things to watch out for when it comes to nutrition and fitness. So there's a lot of claims that people make, and we just want to try to give you a little bit of insight on maybe things to do your own research on, make sure it's actually credible before you go and try some of these things that you're being advertised to, whether it's on TV or social media or things like that. So we're just going to talk about some things in the nutrition area to watch out for, and then some things in the fitness area to watch out for when it comes to whatever program you're doing or whatever nutrition diet you're going to be trying, things like that. So one thing that I'll just start out with is you can't always trust the packaging on your nutrition. So if you're shopping at the grocery store and you're going around and getting your things and the front says keto friendly or gluten free or non-dairy or sugar free or fat free or something like that, does not mean that it's necessarily healthy. You want to make sure that you're actually looking at the food labels and checking out what the actual ingredients are, because a lot of times they'll just slap that stuff on there for marketing. That way you're buying their product because it's supposedly healthy. So that's what I'll start out with, and I'll let these guys kind of give their opinions on it, maybe go a little bit more in depth on them. So go ahead.
Yeah, kind of adding on to the packaging is when they put like high protein on the front of, say, beans and nuts and seeds. Like, while beans, nuts and seeds are good for a healthy diet, they're not necessarily the highest in protein. Beans have more fats and carbs than they really have protein. And then same thing with nuts, they're a lot higher in fat. And while they do have a source of protein, you get a lot more calories from fats than you get from protein. So, they're kind of using that marketing to target people, say, oh, this is high protein, well then I should have this, but then they don't realize how much added fats and carbs that they're getting with it. Another thing is with nutrition, they'll say it's like a nutrition secret or something like that. They'll say oh, well, no one else has this except for my program has this secret that no one's ever released before. If you buy my program, then all your problems will be solved. And it's well, it's not that easy. If there is a secret out or something like that, everyone would know. We'd all be doing it by now, and all the problems would be solved. But here we are, and it just keeps getting. There's more and more diets, but there's more and more problems, and we keep getting further down the unhealthy range for our fitness meter. Another thing with the diets is after the diet you can do whatever you want because you're now fixed or reset for your metabolism or anything like that. There will be advertisements for a 30-day reset or a 30-day detox cleanse, and now your body is fixed and is fine after that. And your diet should be sustainable and flexible, and it should be something that you can do for a long time, and it should promote long-term weight loss and maintenance than short-term losing 40 pounds in 30 days.
Yeah, even though it might help actually reset your metabolism or detox your body, you should follow that up with a healthy protocol. And basically a lot of programs, they don't care what you do after, they just want you to buy that program for 30 days. So they're not going to tell you to continue with a healthy nutrition plan. But if you want to maximize results, you need to actually follow through with different nutrition after that reset is over.
Yeah, so I was going to kind of talk about cleansing and detoxing. When you see that, people will sell, usually it's a shake or a drink, teas, for a cleanser detox. And the truth is, your body is already equipped with a detoxing system between your liver and your kidneys, so you don't need to take a supplement or a pill or whatever it is to detox your body. Really all that it's doing is it's saying, okay, you're going to drink 3 shakes a day for your meals. So yeah, it's going to help you lose weight because you're not eating, which is not healthy in the long run. So you really don't need to detox or cleanse your body with a shake or a pill or anything like that. It's not sustainable, and it's not scientifically really what your body needs. Another one is if something says that it's rapid weight loss, which they've kind of already touched on. If you lose a ton of weight in a short amount of time, you're most likely just going to put it right back on because you're going to go back to your old ways, your old eating habits, and you're just going to put the weight right back on. It's not sustainable to stay at a super low calorie diet, which is what they're going to put you on for rapid weight loss. So you need to really be aware of those things, that it's not healthy first of all, and it's not sustainable.
Yeah, going back to what Bea was saying a little bit, people that try to advertise certain programs as the right one, this kind of reminds me of the term we used before, like cookie cutter programs. One size does not fit all. Right? Everybody's different. Maybe our bodies are supposed to work the same way and function the same way, but there's no one size fits all when it comes to every single person on the planet in terms of their health regimen. So, and I think it's not a secret per se, but like people don't realize that fat-free, sugar-free, all those things, and low sodium, low sugar, those don't mean that there's zero or that there's like actually like significantly lower or like high protein. And there might only be 10 or 12 grams of protein. But if you're someone like me or the rest of all these guys, then like you might require 120, 150 grams a day. 10 grams doesn't seem very high anymore in terms of protein intake. So let's try the next topic. What do we have?
So just to kind of touch back on that, things to try to avoid when you are shopping for nutrition is look at the label and check the trans fats, see if there is any in there, hydrogenated oils, things like that. And going back to what he said, like when he says that just because it's, the label says no sugar, no trans fat or whatever, that is per serving. It has to be under a certain limit for them to actually market that it has none. So it doesn't mean that there's actually zero in the whole entire container. It can still have some, it just has to be under a certain limit. So just be careful about that. But just look at the label and see how many grams of added sugar it has. See how many grams of trans fat or saturated fat it has. Look at the actual ingredients and see if there's any like color dyes or preservatives or ingredients that you can't pronounce. You want to try to avoid these things at all costs. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of our food and products that are going to have preservatives, but the lesser amount that it has, the better it's going to be. I really try to avoid color dyes. I've heard way too many bad things about them, especially in children. So try to look out for that. And look for foods that are going to be higher in unsaturated fats, which are healthy fats. If it has a good amount of protein and if it actually says what it states on the front, if it says high protein and it's got more protein than carbs and fats, it's probably a decent product or food to buy. And then the number of ingredients is also important. So obviously if it's got a list of 50 ingredients, I would probably try to stay away from that. A lot of your frozen foods are going to have that. So if you get frozen dinners or breakfasts or pizzas or whatever it could be, turn it around and see not only how many grams of added sugar and stuff like that is in there, but also how many actual ingredients are in there. A lot of them you'll be blown away, like those breakfast muffins and stuff, like kind of like a McMuffin that you get from McDonald's, but the biscuits and whatnot, like we had some at our cabin this past hunting season, and I just flipped it over and I swear there was 70 ingredients in an egg and sausage McMuffin. And I'm like, there's literally eggs, sausage, and the biscuit, and it's got 70 ingredients in here. It should be 3. So we want to be careful of that. So that's what I have to add, just the things to watch out for when you're looking or shopping.
Yeah. Another thing with like certain diet plans is looking out for people demonizing certain foods that are otherwise generally healthy. Like red meat's gotten a lot of backlash. Same thing with eggs, or people will demonize fruit because it has sugar, but fruit's natural and people have been eating it for generations. Like, pretty sure fruit's not the problem right now. Yeah. And like if they start to demonize certain foods that we have indigenous peoples that pretty much live off of fatty fish, so they get a lot of fat in their diet and high protein, but they're one of the healthiest people. Or people in Asia eat white rice for like most of their calories, but white rice is demonized here because it's white or it's processed. And you can tell your
you remind me of that. So a lot of people say that they don't eat the whole egg yolk because they'll get high cholesterol. I actually just had my blood work done. You know, I've been eating 5 or 6 whole eggs a day for like probably the last 8, 10 years. I mean, a long time. And my doctor said that I have the best cholesterol levels that she's ever seen. I have great HDL cholesterol, which is your good cholesterol, and very low LDL, which is your bad cholesterol. And she just said the number was absolutely phenomenal, better than her patients that are on cholesterol medication. So that was kind of cool, knowing that I eat a ton of fat, healthy fats. I eat a ton of eggs. So don't be afraid of like eggs and meats. As long as you're getting good source, you're going to be fine. And I actually am one to really push healthy fats with the benefits, as we've talked about in our previous episodes, the benefits of your hormones and your joints and inflammation, and you know, it's necessary for all those processes. So we want to get those nuts and the egg yolks and avocados and all that kind of stuff to get those healthy fats in. Fatty fish to get those omega-3s is absolutely essential. So just figured I'd add that on as well. Go ahead.
I mean, I think this is like personal experience, one thing which I kind of already touched on, but when you see something that is gluten-free or dairy-free, you think, oh, this is healthy, like I'm going to be eating super, super, super healthy. When truth is, like a lot of the gluten and dairy-free foods are loaded with other things to just like make them taste better in general. For example, I had to go gluten and dairy-free for medical reasons, and I remember like finding dairy-free yogurt, and I was like, oh, this is actually really good, and I was really happy that I found a yogurt, and I was like, this is super, it tastes good, and never really paid attention to the nutrition label. And then once I finally did, after eating it for a while, I realized just how high in sugar it was, like obnoxiously high. So that just made me more aware to look at other things that are gluten and dairy-free. And it is true that they just load those things with sugar and other added foods that just aren't necessary. So just because you might cut out gluten to be healthier or dairy to be healthier, you really, really, really have to pay attention to those other things too.
Yeah, the added sugars in foods can really attribute to your GI or your glycemic index, that spike in your blood sugar and then a crash. So those crashes that we feel after too much caffeine or like just sugary energy drinks and stuff like that. But along with added sugars, like you got to check for your high fructose corn syrup, because people say like that's even more addictive than crack or cocaine.
Yeah.
So
Sugar in general, yeah.
yeah, in general, really. So I didn't really have a long point on that one, but
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, it's good to definitely watch out for one, the trans fats, so the hydrogenated oils, and then the high fructose corn syrup. There's plenty of studies that show that it's very unhealthy for the body. So obviously, just paying attention to the labels and making sure that you're trying to avoid that stuff. Another thing, just kind of switch to more of the fitness side of it. Watch out for like advertisements on programs like, you know, do this ab workout or wear this ab thing for 30 days and you'll have a ripped 6-pack. Like, come on. You can't wear a thing that vibrates your abs and shred all your body fat. That's just not how the body works. Yeah, you might build a little bit stronger abs from it, but you're not gonna actually shred the fat and get cut and lean like the people in the advertisement. You have to actually dedicate more time. It's gonna consist of fitness and nutrition to get you to your goal that you wanna reach. Like we've said before, it's the sustainability of it, the consistency. You're not gonna be able to reach your ultimate goal in 30 days. Especially, I like to say, how long did it take you to get out of shape? A lot of people will say, oh wow, I've been in shape since I was in high school and it's been 20 years. Don't expect to reverse 20 years in 30 days, is what I like to say. So if you can expect to get out of shape over a 20-year span, it's going to take you at least 4 or 5 years to get back in shape. Just figured I'd throw that out there. I know these guys have more on the fitness side, so I'll let them chime in and give their recommendations.
Yeah, so one thing to look for is if people's like programs say that you're going to build like an insane amount of lean muscle mass on their program, like if they say you're going to build, I'll say like 15 pounds of muscle on this program, it's like, that's not exactly possible. I mean, like you might gain a little bit of weight, like muscle from your program, but gaining that much lean muscle in a short amount of time, like you couldn't even gain that in like a year. Like it's maybe 5 pounds in a year if you're like a beginner, unless you're on steroids. So, I mean, that's your thing, whatever, but that's just not really possible. And they're saying, oh, lose 10 pounds of fat and gain 15 pounds of muscle on my workout program. And it's like, you gotta watch out for that, because that's not entirely possible.
And that's also going back to say what Nathan said, like every single person is different. So you can't make a claim that you will gain 15 pounds of muscle and drop out 10 pounds of body fat, because every single person is different. You may be talking to 10,000 people with all types of different fitness levels and body shapes, and you know, if somebody's a 140 pound guy that's 5'6" and he needs to gain a bunch of muscle, whereas somebody else might be completely opposite. They're targeting the same person and making the same claim. It's not even possible. So really be careful with that. And they're just trying to kind of get you into that cookie cutter program, like you said too, and that quick fix that's really not possible. Just trying to buy you into their program.
I think it all comes back to like, is the source credible? Do they have the necessary certifications and education to be telling you these claims? And like, where are they getting that from? So always check to see if you are looking up articles on the internet, where's the source from? Is it, you know, bodybuildersrus.com? Probably not the most credible. Or some sort of blog that someone wrote, probably not the most credible. But if you find something from like a university that's, you know, based on studies that they've done, just as long as it's peer reviewed, like even certain studies can be skewed. Like they can skew the evidence around, or you know, they might not have it where it's super translatable to actual results in the real world, since it's done in a lab or something. So you always have to kind of question what, even if it does come from a good source, always be thinking about it being like, is this something that's realistic? Is this, you know, something that would apply to me, or is this just like a fluke thing that could be happening? Because there's a lot of fitness influencers out there that, you know, they'll say, oh, this is how I lost 20 pounds in 30 days on my program, but they're not even a certified personal trainer. They don't have any sort of nutrition degree or certification. So always look for that. If, you know, there's like someone on Instagram that is a registered dietitian, or someone that's a certified personal trainer, then at least they have some sort of certification to kind of back up what they're saying.
Yeah, so the one that I kind of want to talk about is, if you see a program or something out there that says no physical activity needed. Yes, the diet and your nutrition is huge, and we will preach that all day long. If you want to lose weight, you need to be in a caloric deficit. Yes, that is true. But if you want to be healthy and you want to live a long, healthy life, you need to be physically active. Like, sure, you can go on this super low-calorie diet and lose weight without exercising, and maybe that's like your first step, is you want to first start with your nutrition and get that figured out first. Great, that's a good first step. But if you want to lose more weight, or you want to build muscle, or whatever it is, if you want to not have to eat in a super low-calorie diet your whole life, you need to be physically active. And if somebody tells you that you don't need to work out at all, and you don't need to you don't need to even walk or do anything physically active, they don't care about your overall health. They're just trying to get your money so that you'll do their diet program. So we want you guys to live a healthy lifestyle with diet and physical activity.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, actually. Like, I think what that reminds me of the most is when they say if it's too good to be true, when it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Right.
Like, if I can just lay in bed all day on this program and lose 20 pounds, that sounds too good to be true. And that definitely is.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to that same topic, like, people will always advertise, or they'll push a testosterone pill, because if you're not producing enough testosterone, then like you can't produce, or you can't build the amount of muscle that your goal is. And it's like I don't know. I think one commercial that they usually push was like, like the guy's holding up a hamburger and a gallon of milk. He's like, this, some foods boost testosterone, some foods kill it. It's like, they kind of both come from animals. Like, they're both animal sources of protein and fat. So those kinds of things, like if they don't make sense in the ad, then it's probably not going to make sense when you're following the program. So, yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, we could even touch on like weight loss, fat burner pills and stuff. Like there's some red flags to that as well. A lot of them will advertise that same thing. Like you take this pill, you don't have to change your diet or work out. You just gotta add this. And although like there may be some ingredients that help with your metabolism a little bit, like at the end of the day, it's not gonna get you where you wanna be. They're just trying to sell you their product because they know that the average person doesn't wanna put in the work. They don't wanna work out every single day. They're literally just using that as marketing to get the vast majority of people to try it out. So, we could easily just take pictures and videos of us working out with our shirts off or whatever and advertise, hey, come work out with us and you'll lose a bunch of weight. But we're not in that market to just sell a ton of service. We actually want to help people that want to live a healthy lifestyle and change their habits. So that's why we're promoting these kinds of videos where we're actually just bringing our knowledge to you and giving you our tips and advice to help you guys hopefully avoid those types of things, to actually make a real lifestyle change and live that healthy lifestyle for longer duration and avoid the quick fixes. So just kind of use these tips that we've given you. Start reading labels. Watch out for those social media advertisements from fitness professionals or people that look super shredded that are advertising something. Most of the time, those people might be an endorser of a product or a plan or whatever, but I can promise you they do a whole lot more than just take that product. They might be holding up a muscle building product like a testosterone booster, but they also probably eat 6,000 calories a day. They train 6 days a week for 2 hours. They probably have a chef or something, a nutritionist, and they also take a supplement. Like that's not the reason that they're incredibly huge or bulky or ripped or a bodybuilder. It's just something that's supplementing their regimen, and they're using that guy as a promotion. So just remember, just keep that in mind. There's no magic pills out there. If you're somebody that says, well, I don't want to work out or put in the work to get in shape, you're never going to get in shape. That's kind of the bottom line. You have to improve your nutrition and you have to move your body. You don't have to work out 6 days a week. You don't have to do any specific training protocol to get in absolutely crazy shape. There are some that I think are better than others that are more beneficial of your time and maximize your progress. But as long as you move your body and eat whole foods that are free of, added sugars and preservatives and, high fructose corn syrup and hydrogenated oils, things like that, you're going to improve your health and start to get on the path to reaching your goals. It's just a matter of making the conscious decision to actually follow through and do this stuff. So do you guys have anything else to add?
Actually, I had one more thing to add.
Yeah.
So, kind of when you said, that ab machine people use to get their six packs. So that and the people in the testosterone ads and stuff like that. So 90% of the time, the people in those ads don't even use the product. Right. So it's they're just selling a product because somebody's paying them to tell other people to use those things.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they're not even using it themselves. So
exactly.
He didn't get a six pack by using that machine.
Right.
He got a six pack from years of hard work and possible steroids. I don't know.
No, but all joking aside, it just comes down to hard work. And for us, we do use supplements and we promote supplements, but we also make sure that all of our clients and anybody that's using them knows, hey, you have to improve your nutrition and eat a good diet and be working out, and this will help you with that. It's a supplement to your current regimen. It's not a replacement. So those shakes, those test boosters, the fat burners, those are supplements. They're not replacing anything. And that's exactly why they're called supplements, because they add into your regimen. So if you're adding it into a regimen of eating donuts and pizza and sleeping, you're not going to get to where you want to be. You need to add it to your regimen of exercising and moving your body and starting to eat more whole foods. So just to kind of end it there, you want to try to find things that are single ingredient. If it has to put on the label that it's paleo friendly, keto friendly, gluten free, whatever, they're trying to advertise it, just find the whole source. Like grab an actual potato, grab just a bag of rice, grab some vegetables, fresh vegetables, grab some lean meats, eggs. Like just if you find the actual source and it doesn't need a nutrition label, that is the best thing that you can do. Start there and then just start paying attention to those nutrition labels if you're buying things that aren't whole foods. So hopefully this helps you guys. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to let us know. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Stay healthy, you guys, and see you later.